Hi guys, welcome back to Joe's Jibber podcast, episode 4. I'm joined here by Joe Bygraves. Welcome, Joe. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Not too bad. Heading out of lockdown now, so it's easing up. Dreaming of the pub Saturday, so we're doing okay, mate. How's things been for you anyway?
Yeah, it's been good, to be honest. I've been, from my normal job, I got furloughed for quite a long time, so give me plenty of time to do music and everything like that. So it's been all right. Been doing plenty of exercise, which is a bit unusual for me. But
yeah, you've been running the cranes to Qatar. That was a good show, mate. You've done well on that.
It was, a big task, a big ask, but we raised quite a lot of money. So
yeah, mate, amazing. I had the boys on before, and obviously you're a part of that. And again, well done to everyone involved, mate. Quality.
Our team did really well. It was all good for a good cause as well. So
nice, mate. At least you've been keeping busy anyway, and obviously all the extra time has given you extra time for your music. So that's good times, mate. So where I want to just dive straight into the podcast. So where I want to start with this is I want to start at the beginning. I want to start at the start of the journey. Like, where did Joe Bygraves come from? Like, what's the story? Do you know what I mean? Because all of a sudden I remember seeing you one day, and I was like, oh, yeah, Joe Bygraves sings.
Yeah, it kind of just appeared out of nowhere, to be honest.
You know what I mean? So I want to start to the top. I want to like, when did you? Have you always sang? Like, have you always been a singer? Like, even like growing up, were you actively what did you call it? Like a singer? Did you just enjoy it?
I was always I've always sung in the car, sung out loud and stuff, kind of a family, but I never thought about being a singer, to be honest. I've always loved music, loved playing music and stuff, but I started in lower school. I started with the saxophone, and nice. Was as far from a singer as possible.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of in upper school, towards the end of upper school, I started having guitar lessons, and I thought I could have a go at this. All I wanted to do at that stage was play the guitar and write songs, because I thought I could write songs, because I'd come up with like melodies and stuff like that. But actually thinking I could sing was a very different scenario, because I thought
that's very late. That's very late in the day, because normally when people are a singer, like it's known from like an early age, and everyone will hear you singing and be like, oh no, he's actually, like, your parents will hear you and be like, oh no, Joe's a really good singer, and they'll kind of push you on and stuff like that. But the fact that even still as well, the fact that you almost wanted to be like a songwriter before you're even an artist, you know what I mean? And obviously the way it's kind of backwards, but people learn to sing, or like can sing, then they'll play the guitar to go with alongside that, and you've kind of gone the other way with it. So that's quite
it's a bit back. It is a bit backwards. And I think once I took up the guitar like 16, 17, and as soon as I started doing that, I just noticed that I think I must have quite a good like ear for music or whatever, because as soon as I started playing the guitar, I was just kind of singing and picking up the key of the guitar, and it just kind of developed then. Yeah, I've had a few lessons kind of along the way, and I still don't think I'm a great singer. I still have to prove that I can sing.
I think with your voice, and that's why I do like your voice, and it's probably the style of singer that I like. It still feels quite raw. But that's not in a negative way. Not in a negative way at all. It's a bit like for instance, James Arthur. Like, you can tell that James Arthur's got that kind of raspy, raw
I'll take that.
His voice. Yeah, and even to a degree, like Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is not like he's obviously like very good singer, but he's not the best singer in the world. If you go like vocally, you look at like someone like Sam Smith, who is impeccable, and then go to Ed Sheeran. Like, Sam Smith is by far a better singer than Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran has got that rawness to his voice, and I think that's what people don't like that.
Yeah, I haven't had like loads of training or anything like that, so I suppose I've never. Maybe it's a bad thing, but I've never learned always the best techniques.
Yeah.
But it just found something that worked, and people seem to like it. So
no, it's definitely working, mate.
I will always try and get better.
Yeah, I think you have improved as well, because I remember the first time I ever saw you was up the football club.
Oh God.
And it was
that a few years ago?
really early on, early on. I think it was one of the very first times I heard you singing, and I was like willing you to do well, and you were like you were really good. But I could just hear, because obviously I really like music and I'm listening all the time, and I can just hear the odd note or the odd little bit there, and I'm going like, go on Joe, to try and get that note. Whereas obviously when I've seen you more recently, you tend to be doing it a bit more effortlessly.
To be honest, it's probably played for about 7 years now and been singing, and it's come on exponentially.
Oh yeah, God.
I mean, if I think even back to where I was a year ago, releasing Bring Me Down on the second EP, dramatically changed.
That's awesome. I think it's way that in the space of a year.
Yeah, but singing, because I said I only wanted to do. Well, at the beginning, I thought songwriting was the only thing I could do. I thought I can write a half decent tune. I was like, so if I write something and then sell it, I'll do okay. I'd be happy with that. And then I got the opportunity to kind of record my own music, and obviously I was singing it because you have to make a demo to sell the song. And people were like, "Oh, it's good. Like, if you improve your voice, it could be great, and you could keep the song." So
cool.
This kind of happened.
That's encouraging to hear that straight away, because you at that point you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll just make a song and sell it off." And to hear that must have been quite encouraging to go, actually, no, I want to keep the song. This is my song.
It was both, really. It was a bit of a soul destroying thing when the guy came in the room, listened to the song, was like, "I like the song." He says, "The singing's not good enough." I was like,
"Yeah, I guess, yeah."
That's my dream. And then, but it was like, "You can get better," and I was like, I've always been one of those people. If you say you can't do something, okay, I'll go away and I'll work on it.
Are you still working with the same guy, or?
No, that was a long time ago.
I wonder if he's then heard you since.
I highly doubt it.
It'd be quite cool if he did, though. All them years ago saying, "Go away, improve yourself. You're not good enough now." And then it'd be interesting to see. He'd probably go "Fair play."
Yeah, so I went away and then came back, and this was the recording of Childhood Sweetheart, so the first ever song that I brought out. So I came back, redid the vocals, and then he listened to it, and he was like, "Yeah, that's great." They didn't do anything with the song, it just became. It kind of went to me. It was I was on a development deal back then, and it was but it was a learning curve. I had such a great time making those songs. So
yeah, I suppose in this industry it is. Because it's such a hard industry to break, it's that you're going to have learning curves, and you're going to have ups, and you're going to have downs, and you're going to probably have more downs than ups.
You get kicked down quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it never really stops. The closer you get, the bigger the kicks are. I mean, even with singing, especially that same kind of comment came at the end of last year. I played the Ronan gig Keaton, which is my biggest thing. And I was on top of the world. I felt like I'd had a really good show as well, and loads of people were saying, "Oh, how well you've done," and all that. And then this woman comes straight up to me through the crowd, and she just goes, "Love your songs, but you should sell them. Someone else should sing them." And I was like, "Wow, fair enough."
That's so harsh. You've just reached the probably the best achievement to date, and then straight away it's like, bring back down to earth. Don't get too carried away here.
I think you're already good. Get back on the floor. Yeah, it was that was a bit savage.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think she meant it as a compliment, as in to say,
"Oh,
you've got good songs." It just came out as, "You can't sing." Just
Then at the same time, you say in the industry you are going to get so many knocks and so many kickbacks. At the same time, it's channeling that as in, I'll take it on board and prove you wrong. It's all about proving people wrong and exceeding people's expectations of you. And you can use negativity as fuel to succeed, can't you?
Yeah, I think people probably view me as quite a laid back person as well, but I'm incredibly competitive and I'm very driven. It's all the work behind doors, I suppose.
Yeah,
closed doors.
I think to get to the point where you have now, you have to be driven to a certain like, well, you have to be very driven, because to
Yeah.
write a song, produce it, put it together, like release it. That's a lot of work, even for like a singular song, singular EP. But that's a lot of work, and obviously you're full time working, and this is your, like, at this moment in time, like a side hustle, or like side by side with your working day, and you're still getting it out there and still keeping active. So
yeah, I mean, like, as you say, like, that was a random person coming up to me and give me abuse, but like especially in the early days when I said to my parents, I was like, look, I want to be a singer, like I want to do music full time. Very much, I think, apart from my dad, maybe everyone was like, yeah, you need to find another job, like you need to go and do something else. You're not going to make it in the music industry, so don't even bother. Which I understand, like, where they're coming from, because they always just want me to do well, be successful, but make sure you've got a living, and music isn't always, it's not a safe option.
No, yeah, I think it's very well known to the general public, and I think because it's such a massive industry, that people realize how hard it is to crack it. Yeah. It's the same with any kind of art, like going to theatre or.
Oh yeah, I wanted to go to drama school.
Oh, you see, that's just as hard.
Yeah, well, I've always had big dreams.
Destined for the stars.
Well, the thing is, I love performing. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I love performing, and to be honest, I'm a bit of a show off. So give me half an opportunity and I'll go. But yeah, I don't think drama school would have been quite the right fit for me. But now I found music.
Wouldn't have got the same thrills from it, I don't think. I think as well, if you're a bit of a show off, like, I think to love performing and to get up on stage and perform, you have to be a bit of a show off to a degree, don't you? You have to want to get up there and impress people.
It takes a lot of
performance.
Yeah, it takes a lot of balls. It does.
Oh, mate, I can imagine. I couldn't do it. It'd be my worst nightmare. I'd have to have about 10 pints before I even thought about it. And then I'd just be staggering around a stage thinking, I don't really care now. I'm here.
That's the thing. You kind of have to be a bit like, I don't care what they think. Like, I'm going to do it. This is what I enjoy. But especially with acting, you're pretending to be someone else. When it's singing, and especially if you're singing your own songs, you're you. And you're just kind of putting everything out there, and you're like, wow, like, if someone tears this down, it is personal. It feels personal.
I think it is as well, because you put so much work in. Like, you've written, that's like, if you're performing a song that you've written and someone tears it down, you're like, do you know how much fucking work I put into that? Do you know, like, how fucking long it took me to put that song together, and you're gonna knock it? Like, no, like, I can imagine how that would feel.
Yeah, you're right. You write a really personal, deep song about your life, and you're thinking, I just want someone to like it, and then it's like, nah, not interested.
Yeah. Do you not care about me?
Come on. Yeah.
When was the first time you performed to a crowd? Like, did your friends know, obviously, what you were doing?
Nah.
No. Well, your friends.
My friends didn't know I was. Okay, so I'd been writing songs. By this time, I think I'd probably played guitar for about a year, and I'd started writing songs. And I'd send them to a couple of friends and just say, be honest, what do you think? And I sent this one called The Cruel Lesson of Love, which, if anyone's ever heard, is quite a painful song.
Right, okay.
As dramatic as I always am.
Yeah. Love ballad.
Like, you should put this up. So I put it on YouTube and kind of shared it, and people were incredibly nice, which shocks me still, because I've watched it back and it's horrendous. I mean, I haven't even done my hair in the video, which is similar to this because I got my hat on, but like,
you had a quarantine trim without quarantine.
Oh, it was awful. But I put the video up. People were really nice and said those nice things, and that kind of encouraged me to keep going. And then I remember saying to my parents, I was like, I think I'm gonna go play live. And they were like, well, what do you mean? Like, what are you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. So I just searched open mic nights in Bedford, and I found this one at the Flower Pot with Matt Roberts, who, if anyone has ever played music around Bedford, they'll know Matt. Yeah. I just turned up and said with my guitar and just said, yeah, I'll give it a go. And he was like, okay, 3 songs, off you go. And like, I just walked into it blindly thinking, this is easy. I'll just get on stage and play some songs. I don't remember being nervous, like at all. And then I got up, I sang the first verse, the first chorus, and then mind blanked. I completely stopped. Forgot all the words. Forgot, like, I didn't even play it, like, and this is kind of the learning curve, I suppose, is you learn how to get through those moments. But yeah, I just sat there and I stared. I remember these 2 people sitting right in front of me, and I just stared at them. I was like, I don't know the words, and this is my own song.
Looking at them like they're going to help you out.
See, they were just like smiling at me, going, "Oh God, he's having a breakdown."
Oh no! I think as someone in the crowd, that's like the most awful thing when you see someone like that, and you're just like,
horrible to watch. It is horrible. It's horrible to watch. Luckily, like, I think I just remembered about. I sat there for a solid minute and then just carried on the song.
Bear with me. Hang on, it'll come. No, what?
There are some people that have seen some very bad performances from me.
Well, luckily, when I've seen you, I've never seen you blank up like that. You've been all right, mate.
It still happens. It still happens. I always find it's always the first line of the second verse. It's always the one you forget because you always concentrate on the first line of the first verse, and the chorus you should usually remember. Yeah. But then coming back out of it and into the second one, because you've got the high of the chorus, then you come back out and you're like, crap, what's the word again?
That makes sense, to be fair, yeah.
I used to write them down. I actually used to write them down.
On the first line?
First line of songs, usually, on a set list. Because if I was playing a gig, especially if it's somewhere I didn't know and there was people I didn't know in the audience, there would be like a little bit of nerves. And I remember always thinking like, just if you get through the first line, get through the first line. And as soon as you do that, then you relax into it. So,
do you find it more nerve-wracking to perform in front of people you know or don't know, or?
Yeah, I think with people I know, because those people know you, and I suppose they expect kind of you to perform to a certain level. They'll always cheer you on. That's the good thing about being with people you know. Yeah, but even if you don't know anyone, then if you don't know anyone, you're not going to see them again. So it's like, they can abuse you online, but it doesn't matter too much to me.
For a screen, they can say what they like.
Yeah.
That's it. What's the
people always say horrible things.
Yeah, we're always going to get haters, mate. What is the biggest crowd you played to then? I'm presuming, like you said earlier, it was probably the Ronan Keating gig, was it? Which was pretty cool.
Wasn't the biggest crowd. That was by far the best, like the biggest gig for me, and in terms of my music, because I was supporting someone who I've looked up to, and we all know the music from Boyzone and Ronan Keating, which is sick.
Let's go into that one then, because I was quite interested when I saw you announce that one. I thought, mate, that's so cool. Like, Ronan Keating is a legend, mate. Like,
yeah, that was mad. Well, that came from
bangers.
So it came from the year before I did the Bedford Park Proms. That one's probably my biggest in terms of audience. There's about 6,000-7,000 people there.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
And through the guys that organised that, they also organised the Ronan Keating thing. So they were like, they must have done a good enough job on the Bedford Park Proms one. And they said, well, we need an opening act here. Like, would you be interested? I was like, yes, definitely get me in. Absolutely. I'll play. And to be honest, that's opened things up. Like, I would have played another big gig similar to that this year, a couple.
Really?
But such is coronavirus.
That's gutting, mate. That is gutting.
Yeah.
Did you did you meet him at all?
No. So I got to about
all that way and you didn't get to meet him. Oh, mate.
About 10 yards from him.
Oh.
I nearly rugby tackled him off the stage. No,
Ronan.
I don't think he lives too far away from here, or at least he has a house that's not too far from here. So he kind of turned up kind of just beforehand and did his bit, and then I presume he went on. Kimbolton Castle, yeah. But like that was probably the only slight negative from the night, but it didn't bother me one
That's
bit.
in the grand scheme of things. If we're talking about you as a performer, meeting Ronan Keating doesn't matter. That's irrelevant at the end of the day, isn't it? It's just
It would have been
a little
cool,
bonus.
but like,
Little bonus. That's like a selfie for the Instagram at the end of the night, and that's about
exactly, yeah.
it.
I'll remember it. Hopefully, I
Yeah.
could snub him back one day.
Yeah. When Ronan Keating wants a picture, nah, sorry, mate.
No, sorry, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm on the pyramid stage at 3, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was by far the best night of my music career. I mean,
I'm not surprised.
the people
That's pretty cool.
Very well, a good reception from people, and I still have a lot of people who kind of follow me now and have only ever seen me through that, and they've stuck with me now since then. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
it's opportunities like that you need to kind of get a break, I suppose, because obviously that you get an opportunity like that from obviously the proms gig, and then opportunities will arise, like you said, from that, and hopefully you'll get them opportunities again. Because I think in the music industry, it is very much just lucky breaks, and it can just take one moment where someone sees you to get somewhere else, and then that slightly bigger event, someone else might see you, because it all in the music industry is a tough one to crack.
Yeah, and it's every event. Like it's probably the only way to think about it as a musician, because it gets easy to think no one's here, no one cares what I'm playing, no one's even paying me any attention. And it's very easy to go, just give up. What's the point? But it has been like some of the smallest gigs I've played have got me other things. I mean, I'm working with some people at the moment, and it came about because I played this guy's wedding in his own back garden.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
I mean, I unfortunately can't go too much into it, but we basically
go on, go jibber jabber gossip. Come on, bro.
I
Give us an exclusive.
I do not. I'd love to. I'd spoil the whole thing though.
Well, she doesn't know she got married. Is that the thing? Is that what it is?
I played at his wedding, and now he's been able to he's had a music opportunity come his way, and he said to me that this is a couple of months ago. He said to me, "Will you be interested in working on? Would you write us something?" So
amazing.
I've been working with them for the last 2 months, and hopefully it will be coming out sometime soon. Or I can at least say something a bit more, but it's very exciting.
Oh, we'll keep an eye out for that one then. Definitely sounds like a good opportunity for you, mate. Happy days. Obviously, like we were saying, getting them breaks, and obviously you said you could have been playing a few more events and gigs like that this year, but obviously Rona. How has obviously coronavirus affected artists, like, especially I think for yourself, and I think smaller artists trying to get that bit of a breakthrough has probably been more detrimental than obviously an artist that's already kind of, I suppose, seemed to be cracked it, because they can just float around and wait for everything.
It is tough. I mean, I think I was planning on releasing music before everything kind of happened, and I'd obviously loads of gigs and stuff set up this year. But then I'm kind of been lucky that I'm not at that stage. I think it's the people just like a bit further than me, probably on the brink of getting deals or just have deals, that have got it even harder, because this is how they make money. Especially a lot of the musicians I know from around Bedford, their sole income is from music and from playing in pubs and playing events.
Oh wow!
And now you can't play anywhere, so there's no way of making money, and that's why it's moved. Everyone's gone to virtual gigs and had to go that way, but there's no kind of sign of things coming back at the moment.
No, that's the thing. For gigs, it's going to be very difficult to judge when they're going to come back. I think it's going to be a good while, but I think the only avenue people can go down is maybe outdoor gigs, and like when you have like little party in the park kind of style things.
It's with the pubs opening, you might be able to get a gig in like pub garden if the weather's nice, but the issue you face is that you can't really advertise it and have loads of people turn up, because then you've got there's still rules in place, and it's probably not going to feel quite like a gig because no one can really come together. That's the problem. But you just find other ways of doing things. I mean, just say we've been on like a big lockdown. Everyone's working from home now. It gives you a lot of opportunities to write, create content to go online, and as you say, you just have to.
Hello. Oh, mate. Technical difficulties there. Technical difficulties. We're on Zoom. Joe's back in the room. Carry on, Joe. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. I don't say like we have to when with the lockdown or with the coronavirus, we've just had to find other ways of doing things for music. Like you move to your gigs online, and you can still make music from remotely from home. You can still send it around. So it's just finding other ways.
Yeah, I like how you've carried on plugging away. Obviously, you've got to keep the content coming out because I've seen you doing your lockdown live gigs, which have been really good. So fair play for that, mate. That's really good. And obviously, you've been putting out your content on Instagram as well. So you just got to keep it constant. Why you're not gigging and why you can't release as much music as you may not want to. It's just staying like relevant, staying at the forefront, and keep releasing content and reminding people that you're there. I suppose, isn't it?
That's the thing. Yeah, it's just like spent so long kind of building a fan base and keeping people interested in your music, and then all of a sudden you're not allowed to actually play to them. So it's kind of how can you get yourself in front of them from home?
Yeah.
But yeah, to people, if they like your music, they'll support you.
No, that's
and
it,
as soon as this opens, like we'll get back on the gigs.
Mate, you'll have a big gig. You could easily do a big gig when everything opens up, because there'll be so many people that haven't done anything. Yeah. People like friends of yours and supporters of yours. You can put something on, mate, and I know it'll be a quality show, mate. It'll be quality.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll get the boys in as well, and we'll have the full band and the full big bash.
I messaged Jake today. For anyone listening, Jake is a member of the band that backs Joe for gigs. And I said I had you on tonight when we were recording the podcast. And he said, if me and the boys, the band, don't get an honourable mention, I'll be writing a stern email to Joe's management.
Yeah. No, we had our first band practice the other day.
Actually. Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Last weekend. So I'll give him a shout out now, because Jake's on the drums, Steve on the guitar, and Nedge on the bass. They are the boys. They have a different name every gig, but yeah, it was an unreal experience, really. It was surreal, I suppose, probably the right word. Just to be back playing music again and creating stuff. Because it's been so long, and we were preparing. We had about 3, 4, 5 gigs lined up, April, end of March through to like the beginning of May. We had a lot, and then to have nothing is sad, really.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Because even I know the boys as well; they love music as well. I was talking to Jake about it the other day, and he's probably just as gutted as you are. He was so looking forward to getting out there and getting gigging, and I know he's like really keen to get things going. And
it would have been a really big. We had some big gigs that they would have been playing, like we would have been playing together this year.
Yeah.
So we never even got the opportunity to like even practice or think about it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
most things have been pushed back to next year, so the gigs are still happening.
The opportunities will still be there, so just a little bit later than you anticipated.
Yeah. Fair
enough, mate. What I want to just get onto now is your actual music and your content.
Yeah.
So I love your music, to be fair. It's my kind of, I like everything, to be fair, but I do actually like it. Personal favourite, Enemy. I really like Enemy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And that one bangs live.
Yeah,
you can really get into it.
That probably would have been the lead single if like that was what I imagined would be the lead single for the second EP. Because that was the one that people would feel a bit more. But once we recorded Bring Me Down, there was only really one way to go.
Yeah. I like that as well, mate. It's a good one. What's your favourite, say, let's go, top 3 tracks?
Of mine?
top 3 Joe Bygraves tracks.
I think Bring Me Down is my number one.
Yeah, mate.
I'm proud. I'm really proud of that song. And that, to be honest, that even came out of just a jam me and Stephen were just kind of playing along. I'd kind of got what I wanted the song to be, and I remember we had it on camera. The moment that Steve just plays one note, it's like dung, and I just went, I've got it.
Oh, wicked! That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Bring Me Down was sick. Well, Wild Nights would be up there.
Mate, that's a quality tune. Quality tune.
Yeah.
I was listening to it the other week when we spoke before, and then I went back and listened to it. Obviously, I was having you on today, so I went back and I was listening today. But they're all on my album, and I do listen to them. But I was like, right, I'll rattle through them just so they're fresh in my head. And mate, it's an absolute tune. And obviously, numbers wise, smashed it, mate.
Oh,
what are you saying numbers now?
I think I checked today. It's about 37,000, which it's been out 2 months, and I'm stuck at home. That's unbelievable, really.
Yeah, it's awesome, mate. 'Cause that's another thing that Jake said is when you mentioned his new single, mentioned that we haven't even got to play it live yet.
Yeah, we haven't. We've played it about 3 times, I think, in just the jam. That's it. And Steve, I know Steve. So I saw Steve last week before when me and him had a little practice together as well, and he's just been jamming out to the song. So we all know the song. We just haven't been able to play it together. But yeah, haven't even played it acoustic to real people.
No.
We were a week away from doing it.
Oh, mate. That's definitely... Was it out at that point?
No, I was going to release it at the end of March. I've kind of intertwined with my birthday, to be honest, because I was just going to do a big birthday
that'd have been
celebration and everything.
Yeah, that'd have been so good.
And it's probably the beginning of March we saw things were kind of going this way, so I had to pull the plug quite early, and then I delayed the release. But yeah, no, it's a fun song. I don't get too many happy songs, I suppose. So it's nice to release a proper summer happy one.
Yeah, bring everyone's mood back up again.
I felt like it was needed, to be honest.
Nice, mate. So would you say that they 1 and 2?
2, yeah. Then the problem with me is my favorite song is always usually the last thing I've written.
Yeah.
So I've got a whole list of new songs at the moment.
Well, do you think are better than what you've released already?
Yeah. I think the songwriting, thinking everything's better. It's just
that's one thing I want to touch on is your songwriting as well. So what's your process? So what's your process of writing a song? So you sit down to write a song. Where do you start?
See, a lot of the time, I don't usually just sit down to do it. It just kind of something comes to me in it'll either be a guitar, just a few notes, or a melody or something just pops in. So I think one of the last ones I wrote, I think I was asleep or something, and I just woke up and I had the melody in my head, I had the whole chorus, and just
really,
yeah, it's just literally it's 2 a.m. or something stupid. Just grab the guitar and just I've got a lot better at it now. I can kind of hear what it's gonna sound like.
Yep.
So I could pick up the guitar and just do it. At the beginning, when I first started out, usually I'd pick the chords, and then I'd okay, this is how I'm gonna layer the song. I'm gonna have verse, pre-chorus, chorus. It's gonna be this long. It's gonna be these chords, and then I'd just write a melody over the top of it. Yep. So for writing a song, so I basically pick up a guitar. I've got a melody in my head, and then I'll just keep playing it over and over again, and I'll talk absolute gibberish. I mean, the words will make no sense, and then
structure it together.
Yeah, and then you kind of come up with a theme and that kind of stuff, and it all comes together.
Your songs then, whether you want to answer this or not, are they based on true life experiences, or are they made up fairy tales?
It is real. It is real.
In that case, then, who's childhood sweetheart?
Okay, I'm not going to refer to her as childhood sweetheart, but she knows it's about her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Um,
At least she knows.
her family definitely know.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember.
her family got mentioned in the song as well.
Yeah, she did. Her mum came up to me. Oh, they might watch this, but her mum came up to me. Her mum came up to me at Amp Rocks last year, and I played there, and she came up to speak to me. She was like, "Oh yeah, we really like the song." I was like, "Oh, cool."
We really like the song that you sang about how much
Yeah,
my
about my
daughter.
daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like, I get so embarrassed about it as well. But
Mate, if you're gonna write a song like that, you got to take it on the chin.
I can't deal with it. It's
Uh,
just funny. Yeah.
so then is that the only song about that one girl, or are you just really unlucky in love?
That's so that's the only one about her. But yeah, like I think she understood what I was going for.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like a reminiscent song. It wasn't anything.
I liked it though.
Yeah.
I'm winding you up more than anything, but no, I liked it, mate. I liked it.
Nah, then yeah, but it is about real life and things that have kind of affected me, and then also what my friends are going through as well. A bad thing for them probably, but I do write about their relationships as well.
Oh, mate, you could write a fair few about mine, mate.
Lucky as me, are you?
Yeah, mate. Oh, you could write a fucking album on it, mate.
Yeah, to be honest, I've always been quite dramatic as well. So you have a situation, you have a theme, and then you can just develop on it and make it into something.
I think that's why there's so many. If you actually look at the music industry and you look at songs released, there's so many more songs about heartache than there is about anything else, and about even like how many songs do you know that are just about I'm really happy in love. I'm just personally, it's so easy to write because it's such an emotional. When you're going through something that's quite heartache and something that's heartfelt, your emotions are heightened so much that everything means so much more, and there's so much meaning behind everything. So it probably is easier to write a song about it.
Everyone goes through it. Everyone goes through it. Everyone can connect to it. So, and like that probably is one of the biggest things that probably affects people through life. So like that's when you write. I mean, for me, like I don't talk about emotions or anything like that. So I especially probably don't express my feelings, but I do it all through music.
Do you think people that know you then, like your family or your friends, would be quite surprised when they hear a song for the first time and they listen to it and be like, "Shit, I didn't realize that
maybe
he was feeling that kind of way."
I don't know. No one's ever really brought it up with me. I think you can probably tell if they probably haven't heard some of the really sad ones, but like you can tell. Like some people have said to me, like, "Oh, I can tell that one's about you know who and that situation." And it's like, well, at least that means from a songwriting point of view, I'm getting that message across.
That's very true, to be fair. If someone can tell that just from the song, then you've done your job as a songwriter to tell the story through the lyrics, haven't you?
But it captures the moment that, like, that's the feeling I'm in at that time. And to be honest, once I've written a song about it, it's out my system a little bit, and I'll just move on.
That's quite healthy, to be fair. Quite healthy that you can write a song about it and kind of get that kind of built up frustration, emotion out of your system that some people haven't got that kind of valve they can kind of release.
It's a complete way of therapy. I remember writing when I wrote Childhood Sweetheart. I remember being in the studio, and that was like my first day in a studio working with someone, and first kind of time writing a song, really like proper producing it. And the guy goes, "Right, what do you want to write about?" And I was like, "Oh, I've got this idea called like it's a song about like your past and the girl you've kind of grown up dating. It's called like I think it'd be called like Childhood Sweetheart." And then he goes, "Right, talk to me about it." And I was like, what? I'm terrible at talking about it, but just write it down and then make a song out of it.
Yeah, it's quite strange. It's quite interesting that you you struggle to talk about it, but can write it and sing it down in songs so beautifully. Even though if someone asked you to talk about it, you'd be like, no.
Oh, I'm still a mess now. I mean, you've just seen it.
Well, it was about mum and I.
Talk about it.
Move on. No questions there. So, any plans, any more projects? When, obviously, I know you said you got loads of songs written and what have you. What's next for Joe Bygraves, like, in terms of obviously gigs coming out of lockdown and any EPs, singles that you're going to drop soon? Like, what's going on?
There will be a single.
Yeah.
Probably in the next few months, I would imagine. It's we've been producing it, and I've sent loads of stuff over. We've just been pinging things across like mad. And I'm doing vocals probably this week. So there will be a track ready. As I said, there's another project going on as well, which the song is fully done. Everything's ready. It's a case of what they do with the release. So yeah, there'll be new music coming out within the next couple of months. In terms of what I'm doing, like, I just keep on writing at the moment, and I'm going to kind of create. I'm aiming with the aim of a first album. That's kind of what I'm
doing. That'd be cool,
for.
Mate. Yeah.
But it would be nice to have someone else to kind of be behind me, some management and maybe a label or something to be able to push it, because music's expensive.
Yeah,
it's very expensive to make.
I can imagine. Yeah,
it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, and to release things right these days, you want to have a video and the photography and putting together all the kind of designs and that. It costs a lot of money.
I suppose it'll be a case of you might even have your album like there ready to go, but you're like, I don't want to push it yet because I don't want it to be wasted on an audience that I could potentially get bigger.
It's hard to It's so much harder pushing an album than it is one song. That's what I've found. I think that's what I've learned, because from doing the 2 EPs, like, I had a great time. It's great fun. Like, I love to have music that's kind of all the same kind of style, and that sums up your life at that moment, and then you move on to the next one and you do another chunk. But doing EPs is real hard work to promote that, and to keep people engaged through the whole thing is, I mean, there's a lot of people that will know Childhood Sweetheart, but the other songs on there, like the bottom ones, All Night Long, which people like but probably don't know as much and haven't listened to it as much, and it's hard to keep people interested.
Yeah,
so,
I can imagine. Yeah, and when you get an album, that kind of heightens even more, because you've got a double the length album of songs to try and push through. So that's where, like you said, you want to get kind of some real kind of push behind you before you enter them kind of grounds, just so you know you're going to hit the right audience and get it out there so people can hear it.
What does he say? Like, if you, and my plan really, to be honest, is keep releasing singles at the moment and build a bit of traction. And
mate, the proof's in the pudding with the last single that you've released, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can do that on a single release, that's encouraging enough that you could release a single and do the same and better it.
Exactly, and releasing one song at a time, like one song at a time's kind of worked at the moment for me, and I'm seeing opportunities come now just through releasing Wild Nights, even though I haven't physically been able to do anything. Like, the song has opened some doors. So
no, that's awesome, mate. Nice one. Well, hopefully I look forward to hearing that, and it'll be good, mate. So another thing I want to say as well, obviously, from what you've been up to and future projects you've got coming out, you've been in World Folk Vision, the competition running recently, and you're now in the final, which I think the voting is closed now, is it?
The voting has closed, yeah. So now it's in someone else's hands. I don't know. I find out, obviously this will go out on Friday, so we'll know. I'll know. I've either won or I haven't won.
When's the announcement?
Wednesday. Let's see.
Tomorrow? Wednesday?
Tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow. Yeah.
Nice one, mate. To be fair, you've done well, because what is it? Down to 100 people, but that's from like all over Europe, right? All over the world.
The world, yeah.
Yeah, it's world folk. Sorry, all over the world.
So, yeah, it's not a very well known competition in the UK, but kind of across Europe and Asia and other countries, like continents and other countries and stuff, it's a little bit more well known. But yeah, they have 3 kind of categories like that they're going for. So there are 100 artists, but there's about 30, 40 that are going for the same thing as me, which is like solo performance. So
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to get to that stage.
No, absolutely, mate. To drill down into like 30 odd people in one category across the whole world, and mate, kudos to you, man.
Nah, my friends and everyone, like, and anyone who likes my music, I just consider a friend now. But like, and we pushed hard, like, it voted hard, and there's been a lot of really nice messages since doing this as well. And it just gives you a bit of drive to keep going.
Yeah, and no matter what the result as well, I'm sure you've gained recognition from that, and you've covered different eyes and different ears that may not have seen you before.
It's something to be involved in, that I've been involved in. I can show that I've been busy. Yeah. And only good things could come from it. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely, mate. Something to be proud that you were involved in, and one for the musical CV.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what we're doing. Just keep doing things and keep building up your experiences, and then people, because it is that people notice the name at the top of, like, when you hand them in a press release and stuff, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll give it a listen.
Yeah. Nah, fair play to you, mate. I think what you're doing is brilliant, and I'll be supporting your stuff all the way, mate. All the way.
Yeah, I do just want to say thank you to everyone that has voted, because it does mean a lot to me, especially to take time, and the voting process was a little bit difficult.
Oh, mate. I signed in. I was on your page, and then I signed in, and then it sent me to a list of all people, and I'm going like that, and I got all the way to the bottom, and I was like, I've missed him. I was back again, like scrolling back to try and find you again.
I scrolled past myself so many times. I was like, well, if I can't do it, and I know what I'm doing here,
if I can't vote for me.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Brilliant.
Nah, but it's incredible. You got people on there, like the guy from North Macedonia. He was going to be on Eurovision this year.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an unbelievable voice.
Oh, wow.
And like, I mean, I feel very bad for him because he's lost out on like the Eurovision, which would have been massive. Yeah. So it's big competition
in that boat as well, with Eurovision not going ahead. There's been a lot of, I've seen it on social media, like the people who should have gone for it. I think the UK representative said that they won't go for it next year. They said that this was my year, and it's not meant to be, and I'm not going to go through the process and do it again.
It's a tough process. I mean, imagine, I don't actually know about it, but I imagine it takes a lot to get there, and you probably have to go through quite a lot, and then to lose it to something like this, it must be heartbreaking. Yeah, I know a lot of situations, a lot of bands that were probably going to be on tour opening up for other acts, like for big acts and that kind of stuff. And when you lose opportunities like that to something like this, it's hard to take.
I can imagine, mate. Well, are you keen to give us a blast of a song then, mate?
Go on then, we can do.
Do it for the pod, mate. Let's go. What you got? What are you going to do for us?
I think we'll play Wild Nights, because it is the latest
single. The new single. So everyone, before obviously Joe gives us go stream Wild Nights. I take it's on all streaming platforms, Joe.
It is on all streaming platforms, yeah.
Nice one, mate. Take it away.
What? You got an attitude, or hard to fight for just 21. I think you're kinda cute. Those brown eyes kill me, I'm done. And I can't wait to get you alone. Take the leap, just let it go. Can you feel yourself losing control? Are you ready to fall in love? I'm ready for those long drives. I'm ready to get so high tonight. Been waiting for the sun to rise. You're watching those stars light up the sky. I'll finally get you on your own and show you things you wouldn't know. Been waiting for a lifetime. I'm ready for those long drives around nights. Yeah, yeah. I can read your mind, and it's making me want you more. Where you are tonight? 'Cause it's a feeling I can't ignore, and I can't believe how time lies to watch me put my heart on the line. Grab your coat and let's feel alive. Are you ready to fall in love? I'm ready for those long jobs. I'm ready to get so high tonight. Been waiting for the sun to rise. Been watching those stars light up the sky. I'll finally get you on your own to show you things you wouldn't know. Been waiting for a lifetime. I'm ready for those long drives around nights. So, oh, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm ready for those long drives. I'm ready to get so high tonight. Been waiting for the sun to rise. I'm falling in love with you every night. I finally get you on your own and show you things you wouldn't know. Been waiting for a lifetime. I'm ready for those long drives around nights. Long drives around nights. Long drives around nights.
Well done, mate. Awesome.
Cheers.
Awesome, mate. It's a cracking song. Absolutely cracking.
That's a fun one. It's a fun one.
Yeah, mate. Like you say, upbeat.
Yeah. It's a nice change.
Nice one. Well, congratulations on the success of that single as well, mate.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely brilliant. So I think that's about wraps us up now. So Joe, do you want to, if you got anything to plug, go for it, mate.
Well, if you're not following me on any social media, it'll be a great time to. Joe Bygraves Music on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. You can find my music on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Nice one, mate. Well, I'll leave all of the links down in the description to all his social media and all his streaming platforms that will link you straight to all of his music. And I wish you all the best in your career, mate. And I hope you prosper. And I hope you get all the opportunities that come to you. I hope come to you and you smash. So fair play to you, mate. Thanks for coming on today as well.
Thanks for having me.
That's been really good.
I've really enjoyed it, and I've really been enjoying the other podcasts as well. So.
Thanks, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Going well.
Nice one, mate. I'll keep plugging along. So I've enjoyed this one though, mate. It's been absolutely brilliant. So we'll get this one out. So nice one. Cheers for that, Joe. And everyone's
cheers, mate.
Thank you for everyone for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, then leave a review and subscribe to the podcast. And thanks for all the support. Follow me up on the socials. I'll leave them all in the description. Thanks for watching. Peace.